Hey y'all, let me preface this by saying I feel kind of how I look, rough. Um, let's call this a PSA, public service announcement. Um, if you have a loved one, a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, cousin, sibling, a friend that's living in a nursing facility, I urge you to make frequent visits. Make it a point to check them, turn them over, make sure they don't have any sores, ulcers. Make sure they're clean. Check their environment around them. Be their advocate. My mother is in a nursing home. Many of you know her. I'm not going to say the nursing home, but it's in Goldsboro. Many people will know. And I thank the Lord every day that Mama has a clear, sharp mind so that she can tell me when she is not being cared for or something is wrong. That's a blessing. The hard part is that Mama is 76 and she's bedridden. Can't get out, can't do anything. She can't lift herself, turn herself over, nothing. And so she still depends on the people in the nursing home to take care of her, and I depend on them. I wish that I could take care of Mama here at home, but I can't. I don't have the right home. I don't have the finances. I'm physically not able. Can't. So I depend on this nursing facility to take care of Mama. Well, Mama this started about a month ago. She's had some respiratory problems. And they just started giving her some Zyrtec. The doctor just ordered that. They test them weekly for COVID. She's been negative every time. But she has progressively gotten worse and worse and worse on the Zyrtec. So last Monday, not Monday of this week, but Monday of last week before Christmas, Mom was really sick, and we asked the doctor to go see her. The doctor went and ordered a COVID, which is done anyway, a chest x-ray and a respiratory panel. Didn't order her anything, as sick as she was. Wanted to wait to get the results back from everything. Okay. They finally did all that Tuesday morning of last week. And so Tuesday afternoon, I start calling and inquiring, have you got results back? I used to work in the healthcare field, and so I kind of know how long things take. And I knew that some things they should have already gotten results back. Well, they hadn't gotten results back. So Wednesday, I went into the nursing home and spoke to the nurse on the shift. Talked to her. She said the results hadn't come back yet. It's probably the holidays. She would check, but then only 2 people in the whole building had access to the test results. That's what I was told. And they would leave a note for these persons, somebody to please check when they came in. Okay, so Mom's still sick, getting sicker. This is Wednesday. Hadn't heard anything, so I go in Thursday. I'm more upset because nothing's done, and something should have been done by now. Still no test results. I talked to different people, everybody that I could find to inquire. Still didn't have results. We can't get them. It's probably the holidays. We're waiting on them. Doctor won't do anything. Friday, I'm told the same thing, and each time my mother's getting worse. She's choking and coughing on the phlegm. And you have to understand, my mother she's my mama, but she's become more like my child. When I was growing up, I've had migraines my whole life, and Mama tried to find out the cause and tried to get me help, so she took me everywhere. And so now things have changed and flipped, so to speak, and now I'm her advocate. And it's up to me to make sure that she's taken care of. And it drives me absolutely nuts when I see her suffering and nobody's listening. You know, if you're sick and you go to the doctor's office, you get something right then. A prescription, even if they do a test, they do something. It does not take 7 days. Well, Mama went through the weekend, and Saturday, Christmas Day, I had a horrible migraine. And a lot of it's the climate, the weather, but when I get stressed or frustrated, I just don't, I guess I just don't process it well, and I have raging migraines. The whole weekend I'm stressing about my mother and checking on her, and still my migraines it hasn't broken. It'll rage, then it'll go down to a minor headache and rage again. Okay, so back to Mama. Sorry. Monday, I am outraged this past Monday because it's now been 8 days and no one's done anything for my mother. Nobody's listening. And so I called the nurse and I got told the same thing on that shift. The results hadn't come back, and I said, this is ridiculous. Somebody's got to do something. Out of frustration, I went and got on the patient rights. I got the ombudsman and called her, and I told her everything that was going on. She's very nice. And she said, can your mother talk to me? I said, sure. She called Mom. She got Mama's permission, and then she called the administrator. And, of course, they started jumping. However, after she called them, I got a call from the assistant administrator. I had talked to her Monday morning. I got a call from her Monday afternoon, and she put the DON on the speaker, and the DON said, we have the results back. The chest x-ray was negative, the COVID was negative, and the respiratory panel is negative. And I said, there is no way. Mom's getting worse. Maybe all that was true Tuesday, 8 days ago, but Mom is worse. Something's got to be done. She's sick. Please ask the doctor to come back. That was Monday afternoon. Well, Tuesday morning, the doctor didn't go. Tuesday morning, Mom calls and says they just came around and they did a nose swab. And she said, I asked them, what are you doing? And they said, we're doing a respiratory panel. And she said, they did one last week. And they said, no, ma'am, that it was never done. They didn't do it. It wasn't processed. Yeah. So when I heard that, I recalled my conversation with the DON and the assistant administrator on the speakerphone the day before. So I called her, the assistant administrator, and I called her and said, the DON lied. There was no results from a respiratory panel. She read out that it was negative. And the assistant administrator said, no, she didn't lie. Can you? And I was so upset, I kept talking. She interrupted me. She said, could I please finish what I'm saying? I said, sure, go ahead. She said, nobody lied to you. It was an honest mistake. She was looking at the COVID results and thought she was looking at the respiratory results. But wow, I think that I'm not the brightest person, but when I'm looking at something, I can definitely see COVID And no, it's not respiratory panel. A panel is several different things. COVID is COVID. Anyway, she said, I apologize. It was a mistake. And I tried to explain to her my frustration. She said, I understand your frustration. She said, we're going to try to expedite everything and get the results back as quickly as possible Monday afternoon. So yesterday, my mother, we're still, Tuesday, still waiting. What is the day? Wednesday. I'm sorry. Last night, Mom calls me Tuesday night, and she's having trouble breathing, hassling. She asked to go to the emergency room. And the assistant administrator had even said, if we need to take her, if y'all want to go, you can go. Mom requested to go to the ER last night. The nurse on duty came and took her SATs and said, oh, Miss Stroud, your SAT's 95%. You shouldn't be having any trouble with breathing. I'll get you some Robitussin. She brought Mama some Robitussin and kind of made Mama feel stupid, even in struggling. And she had a horrible night. And so, this morning I called back and talked to the nurse again. And I said, what is going on? Why can't somebody give my Mama something? I said, please have the doctor come see her. Well, apparently 2 different nurses filled out a request form for the doctor and put all the complaints down for the doctor to come around and see Mama today. I called at 3 o'clock. The doctor still hadn't been, and I called the nurse on duty. I said, the doctor still hasn't gone? And she said, oh, yes, he did. He told me he was on his way. I said, no, he didn't. He didn't go. He had left. He went home. So she called him about 4 and told him what was going on. I guess she relayed to him that I had filed a complaint with the patient rights advocate. So he said, I'll be back in an hour to see Miss Stroud. So he came back, and he finally ordered her some steroids for 30 days, breathing treatments, some cough medications, and then Singulair. And then when the results still haven't come back in, when they come in from the respiratory panel, then they'll give her what she needs for whatever's going on. You know, I don't get angry easily. I get hurt easily, but I don't get angry easily. But when I see that someone that is dear to me isn't being taken care of and they're suffering, that does something to me in my spirit. It brings out a part of me. I can't even speak up for myself or take up for myself, but if it's somebody I love, I become a warrior. If you have anyone in a nursing care facility, any kind of facility, if you have someone that's at home and people are having to come sit with them, and you're still trying to keep them at home, but somebody's still having to come take care of them, it's still vitally important, especially in a facility, to check on them often. If you know somebody, they may not be related, you know they don't have family that checks on them. If it's a church member, maybe you don't know them, but you know family isn't involved. Please make it your business. Whenever I go see Mama, probably 3 times a week or more, I pass by a lot of rooms on the way to hers. And let me tell you that most of those people are laying in beds And every time that I go, they're in that same still position. They can't speak up. They can't move. They can't tell somebody if something's wrong. Do they have family that checks on them? There's family that has family members or friends that have dementia, and when they go see them, they don't know them, or they don't talk, or they're not even really conscious, and so they don't go because they don't get anything in return from the visit. But you know, that's when you really need to go. Please go. Please make sure they're okay. Please speak up for them. Be their voice. Be their advocate. They need you. They really do. It's so important. Take care of our elders and those who are disabled. And sorry, y'all, but I just felt like it was important. Love you guys. Take care.